Hi everyone, Sneemaster here with a brief review of the Drake Cutter. The Cutter is a new small starter ship by Drake, released by CIG for the IAE 2952 show. The ship is fully flyable. The Cutter is primarily a low-cost, long-range, single-person transport with VTOL engines. There is one pilot seat, one bed, and one bathroom shower combo. There is a cargo capacity of 4 SCU in the back of the ship, plus 650,000 micro SCU for personal storage from a closet. There is a rear door on the ship from the cargo bay, which is the only entrance to the ship. That has a great grinding sound to it as well. To each side of the cargo bay are little windows you can look out of. There is one size 1 shield generator, which seems weak, but the Cutter has surprisingly quite a bit of hull health, about 3 to 4 times the health of an Avenger Titan. There is also extra armor on the ship, and you can even activate armored shutters on the windshield for more protection. Not that it'll help too much, but it feels very Drake. There are 2 size 1 hydrogen fuel tanks, 2 size 1 quantum fuel tanks, and a size 1 quantum drive. Those extra fuel tanks mean the Cutter can fly very, very far before refueling, even very large star systems like Pyro. The engines swivel from vertical to horizontal to help flight on planets. Combat speed is 160 meters a second, and max speed is 1050 meters a second. That's decent for a small ship, but it is not the most maneuverable. It won't dodge light fighters with all the extra mass, but you can dodge medium or larger ships like the Cutlass pretty well. The Drake Cutter has 2 size 2 gun hardpoints, installed with gimbal size 1 repeaters, but you can upgrade them to fixed size 2 guns if you prefer. The Cutter also has size 2 missile hardpoints underneath the ship in missile bays, with dual size 1 missiles each by default. The ship is $40 on regular price, but right now you can get a whole Drake Cutter starter pack for $45 with lifetime insurance, a game package, and a paint. That's a great deal. Concierge can also buy the ship with LTI and the Groundswell paint for $40 cash without the package. There are 3 extra paints you can get: the Groundswell, which is green and orange, the Light Beam, which is yellow, and the Wind Chill, which is a whitish color. I love all 3 paints. The regular color of the Cutter is dark gray with yellow tips on the engine intakes, which isn't bad either. So the Cutter is a great little ship if you need something to travel far and pick up a little cargo. It seems CIG made the ship specifically with a pyro system in mind to handle the long ranges involved and get you back home in one piece. The bathroom is a nice touch compared to the Avenger Titan or other starter ships. Only the Nomad could beat the Cutter in that regard, plus Nomad has more shields and weapons, but the Cutter has more fuel. The Cutter is a useful ship for small cargo missions, hand mining, hand salvage, and ground bounty missions, or searching wrecks and caves. You can scout out areas for other players and ships to take advantage of with those extended fuel tanks. You can also carry a passenger on the bed if necessary, or have them sit down in the cargo bay, but there aren't any extra seats, so it's not really a passenger ship by any means. You can also carry ground vehicles in the cargo bay, but with a tight squeeze. Vehicles like the Grey Cat Rock, the STV, and the Mule just barely fit, but you have to glitch out the front of them or jump over the front of them to get to the living quarters. Plus then you'll have to close the cargo bay from the pilot seat. They just don't fit as comfortably as they would in a Nomad or Cutlass. Vehicles like the Grey Cat PTV and hover vehicles like the Hover Quad or Nox fit just fine with space to walk around and close the cargo door normally. The Cutter makes the ship good for ground racing or exploration with vehicles. Vehicle mining or vehicle cargo will work if you can squeeze the Rock or Mule in there. Just don't expect very wide vehicles to fit like the Drake Dragonfly or the Cyclone, or any larger vehicles like the Ursa Rover or Tonk. You can also upgrade the Quantum Drive and Shield by getting some A or B class components instead of the C class ones it comes with. This should speed up your travel time and give you a little more chance of surviving combat. You can tell the Cutter is a Drake ship by the bare bones and slightly run-down appearance, but it is a tough little ship. Drake placed extra armor and hull on the Cutter to keep it safe, but they left out the comfortable parts. There are exposed metal bits and components inside the ship, as well as pipes and stuff outside the ship. It has lots of fixed lights around the exterior of the ship, so you won't be able to keep it hidden very well, but it makes it easy to see around you at least, and if you're meeting someone, they will see you from pretty far away. The pilot seat that lifts up is very Drake, but also helps the pilot have a better view from the cockpit. The sounds in the ship are very clanky and grindy, which is perfect for a ship like this. The Cutter has a bit of a Star Wars touch to it too, I think. Just remember, the Cutter is not a combat ship. A good pilot can take down a small ship or two, but in general it's best to avoid combat. The single light shield isn't strong, and the weapons don't have a lot of bite to them. The extra armor will protect you a bit, especially if you put the side shields up, but not very long. I was lucky in Pirate Swarm to survive a few rounds, but you can feel the size 1 struggling against ships like the Cutlass with medium shields. You can upgrade the guns to fixed size tubes, but the ship also doesn't turn as nimbly as other small ships, so you might struggle to maneuver against fighters to get your guns to bear. The size 1 missiles also don't do a ton of damage, but should help drop the shields on the small fighter for you to get your guns on him. It's best to just try to stay out of combat in the cutter if possible, but you can probably survive against light ships if necessary, and just try to escape quickly from bigger, tougher, or slower ships. I'm glad we finally have a nice small Drake starter ship which fits the design. I have a weak spot for Drake ships and this one's great. For the cost, it's very affordable and provides a lot of use. The cutter could use a second shield, I think, but aside from that, it does its job well. I have to say, I laugh a bit every time I see the ship or listen to the sounds, but I already love it. You can buy the ship at any time, but you'll get the best deal buying it during the IAE show. Alright, so that's it for the Drake Cutter review. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. You can use my referral code if you decide to jump in as Star Citizen, and you'll get 5,000 extra in-game credits. Here's a big thank you to my current patrons. I have a Patreon going for $3 a month. All patrons will have their names listed at the end of my videos and get first pick on the next item I'll cover, so feel free to sign up and let me know what you'd like to see next. Okay, catch you all next time.